You guys, I was overserved at the garden center. Seriously, I have an accidental plant haul to show you here. So a garden center not far from me just put up a thing on Instagram that they were having this sale. It was $60 for as many annuals as you could throw on a cart. So I'm having a private garden tour at the house in 2 weeks. And it's nice to have a few things to fill in a couple holes here and there. So I thought, oh, I'll just run down there. And I did. And they had all these racks set up in front. And so I loaded up a cart. And then I went to the back, and all the greenhouses in the back were full of actually even better stuff, but I already had that cart full of kind of things I was just sort of grabbing willy-nilly. Anyway, long story short, I left with 2 carts of plants, and you guys are not going to believe. I mean, all the things that were included in this. They had colocasia coffee cups, or they had the Waikiki colocasia. They had enormous tropical hibiscus. They had like annual topiaries. It was unbelievable. And I went and checked with the people there, and I said, I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. And they said, yep. And they said, load up your cart as much as you can. We don't want it left. Now, they're not going out of business. They were just, I think, trying to clear out their annuals. They happened to have been in an area where there was road construction, so it was very difficult to get to this garden center this year. You had to actually like drive through a very small neighborhood, sort of narrow street neighborhood. You constantly felt like you were lost, and I suspect that the road construction really did in their business this year. But in any case, they had all these annuals, most of them in very good shape. Now, here's the thing. The problem with annuals at this time of year is that when you buy them, the root balls are so stuffed with roots in those little containers that it doesn't matter how much they water them, they constantly need water. So I have filled up a couple of bins with water, and I'm going to just soak everything while I figure out what the heck we're going to do with it. But of course, I thought maybe you guys want to see what I all came home with. But I will just show you the car first. This is the most packed this car has ever been. So like literally I started just throwing plants on top of other plants back there. Let me take you along this way. Here's the view over here. Front seat full of plants. Armrest full of plants. Plants down there. It's crazy, but let's get going and I'll show you what I got. Some of the stuff in the front here is particularly dry, so I thought I'd rescue this first. This is a tray of bronze fennel, which I think is a great filler plant. By the way, I really wish I had a baby pool right now to soak all these in baby pools, but what I have is a couple of big buckets here full of water, and we're gonna just start soaking stuff in there. But a baby pool would be optimal because then I could just stick the whole flats in there. Next up, a flat of compact white sun patiens. I love sun patiens as fill-in plants because you can put them in sun or shade, and they do just fine. They do like a little bit of moisture, but such a good little hole filler plant. Tray of big green leaf begonias. I just thought a little bit of color for some of my shady areas. I did a lot of planting in the shade borders this year, and so there's a lot of things that just haven't quite grown in much. I got some of this Beth's Blue. What is this called? Starflower? Isotoma. And I had a whole flat of it, but I picked up some things from my mom and gave her some things. So yes, there were more plants in this car at one point. Oh my gosh. I'm taking people in my car tomorrow. I'm going to have to do some serious vacuuming. Hanging baskets were included, and they encouraged me to hang some off the sides of my cart. This is a Mercardonia, and I need to fill in a little spot. Now this isn't gold dust, which is the one that I plant over there, but close enough. I got 3 kind of sad looking, well, this is kind of just what they look like, Vertigo Penicetum. By the way, these are in like whatever, full gallon containers. These get absolutely enormous. So they, by now they would be quite a bit bigger than this normally, but another one of those. I got a bunch of trays of really pretty zinnias, which I think are I gave some of these to my mom too. Just I think these are just perfect little filler flowers, especially with a garden tour coming up, because I know they're going to be in bloom in 2 weeks. I'm not even sure what's all in this one. There is a random salvia, a couple of these green petunias. I really didn't want a lot more petunias. And then I got a bunch of this. There was a tag in one of these. What is this? Where is this guy? Here. This is Empress Burgundy Charm Verbena. They had some of the super benas too, but I kind of like that this one had the white center on it, so I grabbed those. I got 6 of my favorite, these carex that looks dead. Some people call it the dead grass. I always think I like it, and I think it's gonna look really good with the next thing I'm gonna pull out of the car. By the way, these are in gallon pots too. Yeah, these were $20 each originally. All right, so check this out. These are bananas, 6 of them. So these are dwarf Cavendish bananas. Obviously, they would like to be in, bigger pots. And so they won't get very big. Like, there's not a lot of growing time left this year. They will put on some size. But I just thought that the foliage was so pretty. So just to use this as like annual foliage to stick in there, because it's nice and broad and interesting. And I thought planting this grass with this might be really quite pretty, and maybe even mixing those in where I plant the Vertigo Penicetum too. I thought there'd be some good color echoes there. Yeah, this was included in this put it all on your cart sale too, this gorgeous Rex begonia. This is T-Rex First Blush. I love the T-Rex series. In a, what is this, like a 3-gallon container? This was $30. What? And they had oodles of these, so I could have, if I had a place to like mass plant these, I would have done that. The one thing I would say about these is they cannot handle any sun at all. I have some that get sun later in the day, but none of the rest of the day, and they just are burned to a crisp. So absolutely zero sun for these. But, and by the way, they make really good houseplants too. So I don't really even know what I was thinking with this tray. This was when I was in front and didn't realize there was all this other really good stuff. But I thought these might be nice fill-ins somewhere where I needed a little color. This is Golden Butterfly. It's not a mum, it's a Marguerite Daisy, but I think it's a type of mum, Edgeratums. Marguerite Daisy. So this is Golden Butterfly, and I don't know what the white one is, but you can see how overgrown these roots are. And these, even though these pots are like hard, they're super dry. So I'm gonna have to soak all of these. By the way, if you don't know this tip, when you have a root ball that is really dried out and sort of hydrophobic, the only real way to get it rehydrated is to put it underwater and bubbles come out. Here, let me show you on this one. And you let it go underwater until the bubbles stop coming. Once a plant gets to that stage where it's that dried out, it's not very often that you can rehydrate them just with a hose. And because I don't want to have to water these things every 3 hours, I'm going to give them all a really good soak right now. And then hopefully they're good for a couple of days till I can get these planted or get these where they're going to go. Okay, now I have to carefully make my way through here because this is where I was literally just sort of throwing pots on top. This is got several of these Edgeratums. There's no tag with them. I don't know what kind they are. And had I known there were more plants coming later, I wouldn't have bought them, but whatever. I mean, they were already on the cart. What was I gonna do at that point? I grabbed a couple more Peachy Keans. I have more of some of these growing, but I figure I can always slide a couple more in those spots, or that way I've got spares if something craps out in the next couple of weeks. Couple of Endless Illumination Browalias. I have a couple of semi-shade pots that aren't, they need some more color in them, so I thought maybe these would work in there. I picked up a flat of this Coleus just because I thought in shadier spots, this might be kind of nice amongst, you know, brighten a couple of shady spots up. So I have 7 of those. I must have grabbed one without one plant in it. A few more zinnias before I discovered that there was entire racks of zinnias in the back. More mystery Angelonias. I got a tray of Secretia Purple Heart, which I just have been sticking, as you know, been sticking everywhere this year. And then Persian Shield. This is looking a little weak, but they usually fill out pretty quickly. But there was only, I just filled in a few spots on that flat with that. Check out the size of this. This is a bay. It's in a 2-gallon pot. It was $55 originally. What in the heck is going on? Anyway, I always like bay. I struggle to grow it. And I've never overwintered it successfully, but I think it's a pretty plant. I thought it might make, if I need a little container to fill in, might be really pretty in the center of a container, or just for me to use until the end of summer, or then I can dry the leaves. I got a handful of, this is, what is this? Like Mohican, blue Mohican, or color grass. This is blue arrows, but it's the same as blue Mohican. It's a, you know, rush, because I like this as a little filler between plants too. Angelonia, super blue Angelonias. I see one of them broke off. But I thought, I don't know. I have Angelonia everywhere. You never know when one goes on you. Speaking of Angelonia, I got mostly a tray of that, 2 different colors, steel blue, pink, and white. And then I think there's 3 lemon coral sedums in there. Beautiful hanging begonia basket. I'm pretty sure this is Iconia. Yeah, this is Iconia Portofino yellow. This Iconia series of begonias is fabulous. I will take this out of the hanging basket. I don't have any place to put a hanging basket, but I thought this would look really pretty. I don't know, plunked in the ground somewhere, because it's in really nice shape too. Last but not least, one more flat of sun patience. I think this is compact. This is compact orchid blush, which is one of my favorite colors because I feel like it's not as stark as white, but it goes with a lot of other colors. So I got another tray of that. Let me organize everything so you can see it all laid out. Okay, everything is unloaded and watered and lined up, waiting for a home. Let me show it to you. So am I slightly regretting buying so many plants that now I have to plant? Yeah, a little bit. I'll find homes for what I don't use. I mean, my only thought is I wish I had gone in with a better plan, because I'm sure what's going to happen is I'm going to say, oh, I wish I had 6 more of that and none of this other thing. But I didn't know. I had no idea this sale was going to be like this. It's crazy, and I lost my mind and I wasn't thinking. So that's what happens when I go to a nursery without a plan. At least this time I didn't spend that much money. So all those plants plus the ones that I already have dropped off at my mom's house, 120 bucks. Not so bad. I'm going to try to get this video up in short order. So if you're local, the garden center was Bayside Garden Center in Fox Point, Wisconsin. I don't know how long this sale goes on. I will say that the day that I shopped was the first day of the sale. So, but there was tons left. And I did see people leaving with things like mandevilla. I would have picked up one of those in a heartbeat if I had seen one, but I didn't. And now I'm just realizing I should have gotten a thunbergia. They had big thunbergias. I know exactly where I could have put one of those. See, I wasn't thinking. I lost my mind. It was an out-of-body experience. Anyway, there's the plant haul. I'm gonna go see where I'm gonna go plant this stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, you guys. May you all have a plant haul in your future. Bye-bye.